Today we are going to discuss about coronary still phenomena. So it means that still कुछ चोरी हो रहा है. किस में चोरी हो रहा है? हार्ट में. हार्ट में क्या चोरी हो रहा है? हार्ट को ब्लड नहीं मिल पा रहा है. Okay. So what exactly is the coronary still phenomena and with which drug it is observed? But before that, you should know about the three layers of the heart. That is epicardium, outermost is epicardium, then myocardium, and then endocardium. Okay. Now, there are vessels which are running in these three layers. We just denoted each with a different color. So, epicardium with a blue, then myocardium with a red, and then endocardium with green. Now, there are bigger epicardial vessels. This is the hypothetical structure of the heart. इससे गंदा heart हो नहीं सकता है. And there are bigger epicardial vessels that are running. Okay. Now these bigger epicardial vessels, from this there are smaller perforating myocardial branches are there. Okay, these are which perforates the myocardium. Okay, and from this myocardium, the smaller branches which supplies the endocardium, which are very tiny. Okay. Now, generally what happens? You should know the two conditions. One is what happens during the ischemia. So whenever there is a blockage over this region, okay, what will happen? That these portion of the heart, it receives less blood supply. Okay, so and that's why there are chances of ischemia, and if it persists, you know that heart can't survive without the blood, and immediately there will be necrosis. That is called infarction. Okay. Now, what will happen if you think that it is very obvious that in case of now what is angina? I will not go into the detail because otherwise we will divert it from the topic. But whenever there is an imbalance between the supply and the demand, there is a development of the angina. Okay, there are different types of angina, everything is fine. But if you just look at from a broader angle, that there is a vasodilatation is required. Vasodilatation is required. But you just think that if there is a vasodilatation of all of these region, if there is a vasodilatation of these bigger epicardial vessels, intramyocardial vessels, okay, and these vessels, what will happen? That in spite of the vasodilatation of these vessels, but the blood is not reaching to this area as much as it requires. The reason is that there is a additionally vasodilatation of these vessels and these vessels. Okay. Now that because of the additional vasodilatation of these region will not get the required blood supply. Okay. तो अगर हम इजी लैंग्वेज में कहें तो बिको यहाँ पे जो वाजोडाइलेटेशन हुआ और यहाँ पे जो वाजोडाइलेटेशन हुआ, इसके वजह से जो ब्लड यहाँ पे जाना चाहिए था वो यहाँ पे चला गया. तो ये जो इस्केमिक एरिया है, इसका ब्लड जो है वो हार्ट के इस पोर्शन ने चुरा लिया, ठीक है। दैट इज कॉल्ड कोरोनरी स्टील फिनोमिना, ओके। एंड this is seen with when you give any agents which will dilate all the coronaries, bigger epicardial vessels and intramyocardial vessels, like the calcium channel blocker, then dipyridamole, okay. All these agents, they will causes coronary steal phenomena, okay. The reason is that the blood that ideally should enter into the ischemic region, preferentially it will not enter into these region and enter into the other region also where it is not required, and that's why it is known as a steal phenomenon. So now what we require? We require is selective vasodilatation in these region. We require selective vasodilatation in these region without any effect in these region. Now that is not possible that you can dilate one intramyocardial branch and there will be no dilatation of the other intramyocardial branch. That is not possible. Okay. But there is a one another solution, that nitrates are the drugs. It causes selective dilatation. Now I'm just looking over here. Nitrates, they causes selective dilatation of the bigger epicardial vessels. Nitrate acts on these epicardial vessels only. Okay. So nitrate causes selectively vasodilatation of the bigger epicardial vessels, and there is a no effect. There is a no effect on these intramyocardial branches and endocardial branches. Now you just think. So there is a vasodilatation of these, so there is an increased blood supply. Now, does any one of you know here there is a problem, here there is a blockage, and because of this blockage there is a ischemia in this region, which is the most potent vasodilator. Okay, जैसे हम कहते हैं ना कि necessity is the mother of invention. So ischemia is the most potent vasodilator. So because of the ischemia, there is a already maximum vasodilatation of these vessels. Okay. So these vessel is dilated as compared to these and these. And you have dilated the bigger epicardial branches. So all the blood, now it will enter into this region. And this is possible only with the agents which causes selective dilatation of the bigger epicardial vessels. And this is achieved with the nitrates. Okay. And this phenomena is known as a selective coronary redistribution. Selective coronary redistribution, and that we actually require in case of acute attack of angina. So this is all about selective coronary redistribution.